Hello and welcome back to Uncle Sal's Garage. I've been noticing things getting a little chilly with Bert lately, and that was pretty obvious on this year's Dust Ball Adirondack Rally. When I got home, I diagnosed the problem and the heater was broken. So today's episode is about fixing the heat on Bert. Let's get started.
Part 1, Dust Ball Adirondack GT Recap. For the third year in a row, my uncle and I participated in the Dust Ball Adirondack GT. And once again, Nabil and Sal put a wonderful rally together. The roads were fantastic, the foliage was amazing, and this lineup of cars that we had was just tremendous. I can't recommend highly enough to anyone who wants to experience the wonderful foliage of the New England area to take part in the Dust Ball Adirondack GT. The car handled great. The motor we put together last year is still pulling strong, and I even had some time to lend the car out to Sal, who got to experience a bit of a time machine back into the 70s. So we were having a blast experiencing the roads and the Adirondacks in the fall. Kind of having too much fun, and didn't realize that the heater was broken. Once nightfall hit on that first day and we were driving towards the end of the day there, we got pretty cold. So we knew we had our work cut out for us when we got back home to take a look at the heater. Part 2, Diagnosing the Problem.
You know, when I first bought this car, I was like, heater schmeater. You know, it's a target top, it's a summer-loving, fun car. But the reality is, I do a lot of my rallies and a lot of my driving in the spring and the fall when it is kind of cool outside. So the heater is actually really important for me. So, I hooked the old heater up to a battery, fresh battery down there, and nothing. And then I checked my continuity when I would pull the heater lever back, and I was getting power and ground to the two leads, going right up to the motor itself. So I went and ordered a new motor. I figured, I did all my diagnosis. Presumably, it's the motor that's bad.
So as soon as I unboxed the motor, I could tell it was not a direct replacement for the 914 motor. My motor had one blower outlet. This had two. And as I looked more closely, I noticed some of the flanges and parts were different size.
The outlets are different. So this one is kind of like flares and flanges out. So this is a wider diameter. But this one kind of stays flat where this one flanges out. So they're totally different. One's 2 1/4, one's 2. So that's another thing to think about, is I have to buy two different diametered flexi hoses. I just think at the end of the day, these parts are so similar, and the 914 is so niche that it's like kind of, close enough. It kind of fits with, if you squint your eyes and imagine a better fitment, but obviously this motor is not it's not built in the same way. I think it'll fit, but otherwise it's pretty similar. Conceptually it's a fan. Yeah, a lot of little differences, but so I will create a pigtail to adapt this to the female spades for the stock wiring harness, and I will also figure out. I'll bring it over to the car and just do a little test right now to figure out how I'm going to get the passenger hose into this. It will sit in the car like like this, and that clear will go all the way across the motor to the passenger side. And then this small side here will connect into the duct, which is right about where I'm pointing my camera. All right, I just bench tested the new blower motor, and it leapt up and blew that thing off, and it's pretty powerful. So it works. Just a note, I am adding a little felt sort of rim around the heater pipe for better grabbing, for better fitment on the worm gear. This guy ain't going nowhere with that hose clamp on it, so it's a good fit. Over from the battery to here, and this is just like an extension of the lead in there that connects to the lever, right? And I've got my two leads, positive, negative, coming off of the connector to power the motor. And as soon as what effectively is kick on the lever inside the car, you hear the relay go, and that starts getting 12 volts. Kick overs the relay, 12 volts.
Once all of our contacts and relays were tested, we sent it. Part 3, send it.
All right, I should be able to kick this over and the blower will go on. Blower's on. Looking good. No air leaks. Looking good. A little bit noisy though. I'm not sure if that's sort of how noisy my blower is anyway. But I'm happy. It works. All right, driving along. The heat is blasting, and honestly, it is toasty. It's coming. I got it coming out of the vents right now. The front too. By having the connecting the passenger side heat exchanger, I was able to, I've never had heat on the passenger side because the post 73 or post 74 cars only had one outlet on the blower motor in their engine compartment. So this aftermarket motor actually gives me something I've never had before. But no, it's definitely very warm, and I'm not even that warm on my temp gauge right now, and you definitely can feel it. So I'm just going for a little drive here to verify that everything is working. But as far as I can tell, and as far as I'm concerned, I think we're gonna call this one done.
Well, there you have it. The heater's fixed. It's a small job, but I wanted to make sure everything was verified before going on the car. Now we're ready for more fall and winter driving fun.